Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Weekly Waypoint. Today is the first episode from my new PC. I've already put up a video being like, hey, look at me, I can run around Limsa Laminza at 60 frames a second, isn't that delightful? So it's not exactly the first you're seeing of it, but what's significant about this episode is that long-time followers of Weekly Waypoint may be aware that Quake Champions is a game that apparently I'm not very good at, judging by this gameplay footage, but also really enjoy and have never been able to get to run properly, as in I used to get, see, I'm still not used to it, I used to get like frame rate drops all the time, like gameplay impacting frame rate drops, and it got to the point where I'd get so frustrated with it, I just had to put the game down and never play it again. But of course I'm on a 3060 now, baby, so I can run this thing at the highest settings, no problem. And I have to say, this isn't the prettiest map. Something I've noticed since I've been playing a bunch of Quake Champions on Ultra is that some maps look better than others, and this one, I don't know, something about the snow effects, it's not really the best showcase of the Ultra graphics, but we're playing two maps today, and the second one looks a little bit better. As I haven't been following the development of Quake Champions for years, I was surprised to find new maps, because last time I followed it, it seemed like we'd gone a few years without any new maps or any new champions. There's still no new champions, of course, but yeah, I was very surprised to see, like, oh shit, they actually are still updating this thing. Although the battle pass and cosmetic stuff is still a bit shit, I'm afraid. I think they were advertising they had a total of one brand new weapon model for this battle pass, and the battle pass is just full of, like, this one happened over winter, so it's full of Christmas stuff that you get every Christmas. Yay. Oh, I should probably also mention, so people don't think I'm trying to pass this off as like an actual proper multiplayer match, this is players versus bots, because I had an issue with this week's Weekly Waypoint, and I put out a poll on Twitter saying, what should I record for the Weekly Waypoint? Should I record Halo Infinite, or should I record Quake Champions? Because Quake Champions is a game I've notoriously been wanting to play for a very long time. I mean, you can literally go back in the Weekly Waypoint and find some episodes where I tried to record this and see how it looked. But Halo Infinite is the game I installed. Like, I didn't really expect much from it. I was like, yeah, I've played it on my Series S, I know what it looks like, I know what to expect, but just because I don't really have any PC games to, like, run that are really new, I was like, Halo Infinite will do. So I downloaded that via PC Game Pass, and I discovered two things. First of all, Halo Infinite is way more fun to play with mouse and keyboard, go figure. Second of all, it does not look as good as it can on Series S. It looks beautiful. So basically the poll was, which one should I do? The one I've been wanting to play for ages, or the one that's kind of a showcase of what I can do now? Halo Infinite won the vote, but I recorded, I swear to God, I played like so many matches the night before, and I just had a fun casual time doing decent. Not doing amazing, but doing decent in multiplayer matches. When I go to record matches, I had 5 matches in a row, back to back, of just sweaty people, and like, it was bad. I don't think I ever broke 1.0 kill death ratio, so I'm not I'm not including that, but maybe next week. I know we were doing a Worms marathon, but hear me out, I kinda just want to play games which push my PC. Well, I mean, not even Halo Infinite pushes my PC, but you know what I mean, like, games which I couldn't have played previously. But yeah, I guess to talk about that a little bit, PC gaming, so because obviously I've been on a 960 since 2016, a 2GB VRAM 960 no less, I really have not given PC gaming the time of day for a few years now. If you look at my Steam profile, you'll see that I've used to do lots of PC gaming, but I really like, I mean, it got to the point where there would be sales on the front page, and almost every single game featured, there would be at least like a smattering of them that would say that I owned them, you know? I felt like I owned like 30% of the Steam library. Obviously I didn't, but it felt that way. And now I look on the front page and I don't see anything that I own, so I don't really feel like I'm gonna start getting into PC gaming in a particularly major way, because I do like console gaming and I like collecting Xbox achievements, and if there's a game that both Xbox and console can run, if there's a game that I can run both on my Xbox and PC, I mean, unless I can run it substantially better on my PC, I'm probably still going to lean towards getting it on Xbox, but it does now open up opportunities for me to get some games on PC instead, such as PlayStation exclusive titles coming to PC, which is something that I always thought was really cool but didn't really apply to me, and now it does. Not getting a PS5's paid off, baby. Well, okay, not really. I'm still not getting Ratchet and Clank out of this deal, but I am really excited next time I have money, because I've just bought a PC and I do not have money. I'm really excited to get Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is a game I've wanted for a very long time. So that's on there. I also kind of want to get Spider-Man Remastered because I loved it on PS4, and I can get Spider-Man Miles Morales on here as well. And then there's The Last of Us Part 1, which is going to come out soon. I'll be able to grab that as well. And I'm really hoping that Final Fantasy 16 eventually releases on PC. And if I wasn't really following these rumors, because again, this wasn't exactly an option that was available to me, but I swear I heard that like a producer came out and said that, oh yeah, it's going to be available on PC, and then suddenly Square Enix backtracked like, oh, we have no current plans for PC release, because obviously their strategy is to obviously make a PC port, but you don't want to tell people you're making that before you sell a PS5 version. You want people to double dip. But yeah, if you couldn't tell by how quickly I'm talking, I'm pretty dang excited about this machine. I love it. It makes me happy. I kind of just didn't worry too much about specs. I was like, I just need it to be able to run Final Fantasy 14 and edit videos. And then I clicked the button and I thought about it and I went, I kind of overshot that goal actually. I can probably do some PS5 games now. Speaking of Final Fantasy, guess what my latest hyperfixation is? That's right, I stayed up until 2 AM looking at videos comparing different versions of Final Fantasy games. Not the differences between 1 and 2, no, I'm talking the differences between 1 on SNES versus some random portable console I've never heard of, versus the PSP version, versus the mobile version, versus the Pixel remasters, and then that video, but also for Final Fantasy 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and I just finished up watching 6. That's how I consume media. I just binge a thing until I'm absolutely sick of it and don't think about it again for months. I've never played, I mean, Final Fantasy 14 is the first Final Fantasy game I've really properly played, and as you all have seen on the channel, actually, I do still have a couple of videos to make in this regard. But as you'll have seen on the channel, I have dipped my toe into Final Fantasies 7, 10, 12, 13, and 15. I think I still need to make 13 and 15 into videos, but the point is none of them really captured me. I've been eyeing up the Pixel remasters for some time now, but there's just something about the character sprites that put me off. They're a downgrade over the SNES versions. They are. It really... People don't seem to bring it up, and I don't know why. But after watching some of these videos, I decided to pick up the PSP version of Final Fantasy 1, thinking, you know, it'll just be like a historical outing, I won't exactly be hugely grabbed by it. But as you can see on the channel, I've already got a video out for Final Fantasy 1, and let me tell you, I've already got another bunch of clips in the bank for another video. I'm having a bloody brilliant time playing through this old-ass JRPG. You know, probably because it's the PSP version. I doubt I would have this much fun in a SNES version, but it's absolutely charming, and I am really excited to continue this journey. I'm not going to like commit to playing every single Final Fantasy. We all know that my attention span will burn out long before that happens, but I'm having a great time with it as of right now. So yeah, got a brand new PC. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to play a game from 1987. Speaking of, so turns out that bulky hard drives don't really have a home inside PCs these days. I got a pre-built because fuck that noise. I know there are some people who will have strong opinions about this, but I do not care. But yeah, I got a pre-built because fuck that noise. But to my, you know, hubris, it didn't come with a place for installing hard drives because it's got an SSD and there's room for SSD expansion, but there's no hard drive bay. So I basically took my old hard drive and bought external hard drive housing, and I've got it stuck in that. And there's a few benefits and a few drawbacks to this. So I was kind of hoping I could just have it constantly plugged in and running, and that I would be able to work off of it. So because this is the hard drive that has all of my like Final Fantasy 14 clips and stuff. But Vegas pretty much crashed after I asked it to trim a single clip in Vegas Pro. So instead, I'm using it as kind of a 2 terabyte memory stick. but there's something charming about just having that available to me, and it's got an on-off power switch, so I'm not too afraid about constantly mounting it and unplugging it and stuff. And I know external hard drives are less kind of secure than regular hard drives, but this is the solution I've got, and I'm actually okay with it until it breaks. But yeah, if you're wondering about my backlog of video clips for games like Final Fantasy XIV, because I do tend to be a few months or years out from editing the videos together that I've recorded, I do still have all of that for now, mercifully. However, I do foresee a time when either the hard drive or the external hard drive housing causes it to fail and I lose a bunch of data. Here's the problem. You might be thinking, just back up your data. Well, it's a lot of file size to back up, and my videos are kind of my way of backing up these video clips. Like, obviously it would be great if I got tons of views, but I clearly continue doing this without getting tons of views, and it's because it's kind of an archive of my favourite moments in gaming for me personally as a hobby. It's one of the main reasons why I make videos. Also, I really don't have room in my life for another subscription, and there is no good free cloud storage. I think the most you can get is maybe 25 gigabytes on a Google Drive, and that's already mostly used up by photos that my phone have automatically synced up. So I do kind of foresee a calamity in the future of the hard drive failing and me losing a bunch of my clips, because the hard drive's a couple of years old already, and you know, hard drives don't last forever. So I think what I'm gonna do is try and because the Final Fantasy XIV adventure is what matters most to me, so I'm gonna try and push out more Final Fantasy XIV videos, work through my backlog, and then try and keep on top of specifically that. And the other stuff I don't mind so much if I lose, but touch wood. Hopefully that's not something that I have to worry about for a while. Feel free to leave me some recommendations. What video games should I play on this PC of mine? Preferably games that are on Game Pass, because I don't have spare money for video games right now. I don't really have much in my Steam library from before 2018, but you know, sure, let's still play the games you should play now that you can run them that aren't on Xbox. Game, do it. Send me things. I promise to reply if you leave a comment. How about that? I'm pushing comment leaving in my videos now. I don't know why. I've still got a bunch of stuff I want to do. I want to see if I can maybe, now that I've got beefier specs, emulate things that I was having trouble emulating before, like Need for Speed Most Wanted, or maybe even Ratchet & Clank on PS2. Unfortunately, when I did try to boot up the PS2 emulation, it told me the memory card needed to be reformatted, so that's probably going to kill all of my saves, but I never got too far into any particular game anyway. Oh, and one last thing about the new PC, I can render videos almost like one-to-one on terms of time scale now. Like, this is a 12-minute video, or 13-minute video, I guess. It's probably not going to take much longer than 13 minutes to render, which is a pretty tasty upgrade, I've got to say. It would have been significantly longer before, so I don't quite feel... Oh, and my PC doesn't completely seize up when it's rendering and, like, refuse to do anything else either, so that's nice. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me today. And I will see you in the next video. Maybe it'll be Halo.